Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Veronica. I think Veronica's chosen me to do this. I don't think I volunteered. I was asked, and of course I was happy to do this. I am incredibly old and have been involved in economic development now for nearly 30 years. I have seen incubation projects come, incubation projects go, and actually this is the first time I've seen a project like this which seeks to codify and embed that knowledge and be able to take it forward. It's a fascinating subject. This should be a really entertaining day. And so let's move on as quickly as we can. The first speaker this morning is Szabo from the Technical Secretariat for INTERREG 4C. Akos joined the Secretariat in 2007 and has had a number of jobs. He worked in Lille, and he's now a project officer responsible for supporting approved projects and monitoring their development. He started his professional career in the Prime Minister's office in Budapest, nothing like starting at the top, and where, amongst other things, he dealt with financial control and the monitoring of EU funds. Akos is an economist and graduated in 2002 as such. Akos is going to speak to us about the state of play in INTERREG 4C and perspectives moving forward. Akos, welcome.
As it was introduced in my presentation, I will talk more about the program, about the INTERREG 4C results, a few words also about the InCompass project and how it is embedded in our program. And finally, I will give you an insight also into INTERREG Europe, about the future of interregional cooperation. So just in a nutshell, what is INTERREG 4C about? It allows local and regional authorities to exchange their experiences and to learn from each other in order to improve their practices and policies in two main fields, the two main priorities of the program, which are innovation and the knowledge economy, and the second, environment and risk prevention. Now, at this moment, the program is closing, and we have altogether financed and approved 204 projects with the involvement of almost 2,300 partners, and this resulted in a 90% coverage of NUTS2 regions. As you can see from the pie chart, the most popular subteams were under Priority 1, Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This is also where the InCompass project is included, and under Priority 2, Energy and Sustainable Transport. But besides this, the program also initiated a thematic capitalization exercise. This is to further exploit the results of projects working on similar topics. And this was led by thematic experts who identified synergies, drew policy recommendations, and discovered innovative approaches. And this exercise was done in 12 capitalization topics, involving altogether 111 projects out of the 204. And the InCompass project was involved in the creative industries team with another 13 projects. So I think this was also, again, a good source for the exchange of experience. And our next speaker will be Astrid Severin, who is the key expert in this topic, and she will talk more about the content of this exercise. So what are the main achievements in our program? As of June 2014, these are the results that have been already validated and approved by our program. There was more than 6,000 staff with increased capacity as a result of the exchange process. And the results, the exchange also resulted in unexpected results, spin-off activities, as it was already mentioned by Veronica, the potential of 34, I guess, spin-off activities. So altogether in our program, we have approved already almost 350. But the key results are the good practices identified and good practices transferred, which are more than 4,000, out of which more than 400 were successfully transferred. And for the policy improvements, more than 2,000 were addressed, and out of this, more than 400 already improved. These are already intermediate results, but by the end, by the closure of the program, we expect that these will most likely double. And my next section of the presentation is about InCompass, because we are here today to celebrate the InCompass project, which after 3 years of cooperation came to its final stage. Here I just would like to highlight the various strong points of the project from the program point of view. First of all, the topic, the supporting the self-sustainability of creative incubator units. And the results were achieved through an intense interregional exchange process in 3 working groups, which was already mentioned before, focusing on the commercial, social, and support initiatives. And these results were achieved by a strong and committed partnership involving 14 committed partners from 11 member states, which represented a good balance both in terms of type of partners and experience. And the results so far, which have been already sent to us and approved by us, are 19 good practices and 1 spin-off activity. But myself, I'm also very curious to hear about the other results, which have not yet reached us, but will be presented also today. And the last part of my presentation is about the future of INTERREG Europe, the future of the INTERREG 4C, about INTERREG Europe. Here, I just would like to highlight the 4 most important contextual elements of the new program. The first one relates to the structural funds, because in the past we were improving all kinds of policies, but for the future programming period, we were asked to focus more on structural funds. This is, of course, not exclusive, because we have Norway and Switzerland as well in our program. The second point relates to a concentration principle, and this relates to innovation. In the next programming period, a lot of regions will be spending a lot of money on innovation, so this is again a good source for the exchange of experience. Smart specialization strategies also highlight the importance of cooperation. In order to develop a good strategy, we have to know what are our good and bad points. And this we can do by comparing, benchmarking our performance to other regions. And the fourth and last point is about the integration of regions of knowledge, which was a previous FP7 program, and this is now integrated in our INTERREG Europe program. And this allows us to finance projects on cluster policies. This slide shows the rationale of the program. The green dot represents INTERREG Europe, a very small part of the whole cohesion policy, but we are there to ensure that the rest is better implemented through the exchange of good practices and through the transfer of good practices. Altogether, we will have 359 million euros for the next 7 years period. So what are the new features of the program? All member states, all EU member states will be eligible. Now we have 1 more member state, as Croatia recently joined the European Union, plus Norway and Switzerland, so altogether 30 countries. And as it was the case under INTERREG 4C, public bodies and bodies governed by public law are eligible, and as the regions of knowledge heritage, private non-profit bodies can also come and participate. And as for the co-financing rates, it will be equally 85% for the 2 types, first 2 types, public bodies and bodies governed by public law, and 75% for private non-profit bodies. We will have 4 thematic objectives: research and innovation, SME competitiveness, low carbon economy, and environment and resource efficiency. So the topics covered by InCompass will also be covered in the future under SME competitiveness. We will have 2 key actions in the new program. The first one is interregional cooperation projects. These are for partners who are mature enough to develop a project idea and work on new solutions to a problem. But this is not the only way to benefit from the program, because we will have also policy learning platforms. And through this, others also who are not involved in a running project can benefit from the learning curve of the program. A few more details about how it will look like. So the interregional cooperation project will be implemented in 2 phases. The first phase will be running from 1 to 3 years and dedicated to the policy exchange, ending up in the production of 1 action plan per region. And after this, there will be a second phase, which will be dedicated to the monitoring of the action plan implementation, and this will last for 2 years. Here, pilot actions may be also possible. Another point that I would like to highlight is the creation of stakeholder groups. This is to ensure, as a lessons learned from INTERREG 4C, to create a group of stakeholders at local or regional level in order to ensure that all those bodies who are not directly involved in a project as partners can still provide their views and comments, and this can be taken on board for the policy development. And the second action is the policy learning platforms. We will have, according to the thematic topics, 4 platforms. So 1 per thematic objective, and this will be run by thematic experts. This will be an online collaborative tool provided for the regions. And of course, these 2 actions are interrelated, because on one hand, the policy learning platforms will have an overview on what is going on in a specific policy field, and they could call also the attention of projects on specific examples, what to look at and how they could benefit from it or learn from it. But on the other hand, the real content and the concrete implementation will be done at project level, and they will have the obligation to feed back to their platform. And finally, this is my last slide. Where are we at the moment at the programming? It's a pleasure to say that just last week we have submitted our program, so it's under evaluation by the Commission, and hopefully by early next year it will be approved. And this will also mean that we could launch the first call for proposals early next year. We are expecting at the moment that it will be opened around April with a deadline of September. So this will provide enough time to develop and consult on the project idea. And an additional point, this year on the 2nd and 3rd of December, we will have a big European launch event, European Interregional Cooperation Forum in Bologna, Italy, which will be dedicated to the new program and also presenting the results of INTERREG 4C. And as we are expecting around 800,000 participants, this will be again a good source for networking and partner search and exchanging on project ideas. So that was my presentation. Thank you very much. And if you have questions, I will be available during the day.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Akos, thank you.